Hey guys, welcome to my series called Finally Explained Fridays, where I take a complicated Minecraft mechanic and explain it simply. Today I'll be explaining hoppers. Hoppers were another complicated Minecraft block that were added in the 1.5 redstone update. They can be used in many ways to manipulate items, which I'll attempt to teach you by the end of this video. So let's get started with the basics. A hopper is crafted with a chest and 5 iron ingots. When you place them down, they will either output to the block below them or the block beside them. This means that it will try to put the items in the block below or the block beside it. If a hopper becomes powered, then it will stop all functions and hold all items. It will act like a regular container, like a chest. It will not try to take any items, and it will not try to put items. People sometimes get confused with this, because if you put an unpowered hopper below a powered hopper, then the item will actually go to the bottom hopper. This is because the powered hopper behaves like a chest. It can hold the items, but when a hopper takes one, it can still lose the items. If you power a hopper and throw an item on top of the hopper, then it will bounce off. This is a bug in the game as of 1.6.2 and is reported as bug 1720. A hopper's most basic use is to take an item which is on the ground or has been thrown on top of the hopper and put it in a container below. People use this in mob grinders. When a mob dies, the item will drop on top of a hopper and will be sent to a chest where it can be stored permanently. Technically, the hopper will take an item if the item is located in the block above the hopper. This means that if an item is sitting on top of a half slab or a Minecraft rail, it will be taken by the hopper. If you want to learn the mechanics of hoppers in large complicated machines, then you need to remember that every 4 redstone ticks, or every 400 milliseconds, a hopper will try to take an item from a container above, and will also try to deposit an item into a container in its output. This is really important. Every 4 redstone ticks, a hopper asks for an item and a hopper tries to put an item. This single rule seems to explain a lot about the mechanics of a hopper. In a system with a hopper, which has its side output facing a chest and has a hopper beneath it, the items will be divided evenly between the chest and the hopper below. I can explain this using the ask and put rule that I mentioned just before. If the top hopper starts with a stack of items in it, then every 400 milliseconds the hopper is going to deposit an item into the chest, but at the same time the bottom hopper will ask for an item. Every 400 milliseconds the item count in the hopper gets decremented by 2, as one goes below and one goes to the side. This mechanic can be useful if you want to divide items equally amongst various numbers of chests. Comparators can be used to detect the amount of items in a hopper. I actually have a whole Finally Explained Friday on comparators, so if you want to, click the link in the description to check it out. If you put 2 hoppers next to each other, then have them output to each other, then put an item in it, they will act as a clock. The item will be continuously passed from one hopper to the other and then back. If you want to get a redstone current from this, then you'll need to use a comparator. In this configuration, they can almost be used as a variable or a counter. You will need to have a system where you send power to only one hopper when the lever is on and send power to only the other hopper when the lever is off. To read the current value of a variable, you need to have a comparator measure how full one of the hoppers are. You'll probably want to use a stack of items as a medium. If you power the hopper closest to the comparator but not the one next to it, then it will add values and make the redstone output for the comparator stronger. If you power the hopper furthest from the comparator, then it will subtract the signal. I highly recommend playing around with this feature, as it can be actually quite useful in certain circuits. Most complicated systems using hoppers can be understood by using the ask and put rule I have demonstrated. Well, there you have it. You are now an expert in using hoppers. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next Friday.